to ask a little bit more about your work in the insurance field, because this is not something that many people speak about or even realize, but there are certainly insurance implications to mental health issues.
You know, there are various aspects in the insurance industry that interrelate with mental illness. The one is when you take out a policy. It's so important to declare that you have a mental illness or you've had a mental illness, because if you don't and it's not underwritten at that point, then this causes a big problem later. And certainly at PPS where I am, you know, these are treated with great care. So it's very important to declare upfront at application stage that there has been a history of mental illness. It doesn't mean that a policy application is declined. It just gives the underwriters an opportunity to assess the risk of future claims. The other side of this is, of course, at claim stage, should somebody actually have a mental illness that they need to claim for, companies need to be sure that somebody who is applying for a disability benefit of some kind will be able to go back to work at some point. They've done all they can to rehabilitate themselves. They're taking their medication. For this, extensive reporting is often required, often on a regular basis. So it's not as though somebody can simply submit one report and expect to get paid a lump sum benefit based on that. So it's a very complex set of conditions to assess in the insurance environment. And it's becoming more so as people realize that they perhaps do have certain mental conditions because of the awareness months, like we're having now. They have a certain mental condition which lends itself to requiring some time off work with some medication. They then go to their doctor and sometimes they're booked off for extensive periods. So all that has to be managed within the insurance environment very carefully.
What are the implications of one not declaring your mental health status or perhaps your mental health background upfront when it comes to your insurance policies?
That can be very difficult, because if somebody doesn't declare that they've had a mental illness problem in the past, this can in certain circumstances be regarded as what is called a non-disclosure, which is treated in the same way as non-disclosure of any other health condition. It's investigated to see what the extent of this condition was prior to policy inception, and if it's felt that this person has truly non-disclosed something that should have been disclosed at time of application, there are rarely, but it does happen, circumstances where claims can be repudiated, which is a very, very sad set of circumstances for all concerned, because this will happen after a period of time that somebody has paid premiums, sometimes for many years. So it's widely reported in the press. Always declare everything when you apply for insurance and let the underwriters decide what is important and what isn't. But I will, on the other hand, say that all insurance companies do their very best to pay all these valid claims. Nobody likes to repudiate a claim, I can tell you that.
Dr. Stott, what do you say to the consumer who's concerned about perhaps their confidentiality when it comes to their mental health status? Can they be assured that their insurance provider will keep that information to themselves?
Absolutely confidential. There are very, very strict rules regarding confidentiality of all medical information. And mental health is just one, but obviously there are industry regulations regarding the confidentiality of HIV, for example, but all medical conditions are regarded as confidential, and the only people who have access to that information actually are the underwriters in any company, and at claim stage, the claims assessors. But this is not information that is ever available to anybody outside the insurance company.
Dr. Dominique Stott, thank you so much for speaking to us today.